Yo guys, this is the Didi Tekz podcast back again with another video, and as you can see, I'm here again with my dad and we are going to be going over the game between Arsenal and Fulham at the Emirates. I'm sure you guys know by now that Arsenal became victorious over Fulham and beat them 2-1 at the Emirates Stadium. Me personally, going over the whole general performance of the players, I feel like it was a really good performance, especially in the second half. But the only disappointing thing, was the fact that we didn't get the clean sheet. Because if you look at the game now, a 2-1 result looks like it was a really tight game. And to be honest, it wasn't. Arsenal were the better team, we were dominant in all duels. Going forward, we were really positive. Defensively, we were solid. And I feel like the goal we gave away was just a little cheap. It was a bit soft to give away. In the first half, Fulham did actually make it a bit difficult, for Arsenal, to find spaces, to cause trouble, to get into the pocket of spaces. They really crowded out the midfield area. But in the second half, I think there was a little tactical tweak from Mikel, and that's when the game changed. Arsenal raised the bar and raised the standard. So that, how do you think the game went today? And what do you think that Arsenal changed, especially in the second half, which really made the game go in their favour?
Yeah, today, it was a very good game, very important one as well, because the way Arsenal, started the game, and because Fulham is not a bad side, they're a very good side, and the way Arsenal, the approach to the game today was very good, but the line breaker was the goal from Merino, because the way Fulham set up, without that goal, Arsenal will have not been able to get something out of the game. So it was very excited game.
Yeah, I agree, because yes, the goal from Merino was a really important goal, because before that goal, I feel like the game was balanced, it was an equal game. Arsenal had their periods of possession, Fulham had their periods of possession where they could have threatened the Arsenal goal, but that goal for Merino really made Fulham to change the way they play. There'll be more space now, because now they have to go and get their own goal. For Arsenal, for the likes of Rice, Erdogan to have more space, to create more chances. Again, the second half came, we saw Saka coming on, getting his goal, and I feel like there was just a real positive atmosphere, As soon as Saka walked onto the pitch, it was just a lovely moment. Going on to Saka, he came on within 7 minutes after coming off the bench. He came on and showed his quality with a lovely cushioned header into the back of the net. Now we're talking about the return. How important do you think the return of Bukayo Saka is now coming towards the end of the season?
Saka coming back at this point, in the season is very important thing, for Arsenal. It's a good news for Arsenal, to be honest, because Saka is a very quality player. He's a great player. You could see even the atmosphere when he come on, even the fans was very excited about him coming back, and you could see his performance, his hold up play, the way he approached the game, and he got his goal today to show you how important it is to this Arsenal team. So it's a very good news for Arsenal team.
I agree, what you said with the way he approached the game. For someone that's been injured for like 3 or 4 months, we saw he wasn't trying to do too much on the ball, because again, he's just getting his fitness back. He was getting the ball, he was protecting it, he was shielding it well, which he knows how to do so well. He got his goal, and he really showed that level of maturity and experience at such a young age, which is so astonishing with Bukayo Saka again coming back, getting the goal. And it is very important that we can try and get him back to full flow before the Champions League quarter-final against Real Madrid. I feel like the game against Real Madrid will probably be our biggest game of the season, and I feel like if players like Bukayo Saka can be to their fittest, compared to their best, that'll be really important, because our other winger, Gabriel Martinelli, which we're going to go on to, had an outstanding performance. And if Mikel can get the best out of the attacking players, I feel like we have a really big chance of even beating Real Madrid. So that, as we know, in the first half, Gabriel Magalhaes, he came off injured. And how well do you think his replacement, Jakub Kiwior, did in the game today?
Kiwior, he stepped up his game in this game, but Gabriel Magalhaes is gonna be a big miss. I think the manager may be trying to save him because of Real Madrid.
That's true.
So because he's a very important player in that Arsenal side. Kiwior did well, but you can't compare both of them. So I hope that Magalhaes will come back as soon as possible.
I agree, because again, Gabriel Magalhaes and Saliba are just a brilliant defensive partnership, and obviously now we don't want to mess up the flow of the whole back line, because they've been consistently playing together now. They understand their games. But for me personally, I think I'll give credit to William Saliba because now he's lost his partner Gabriel. He really stood up because I feel like someone like Kivio, you need to help him out because he doesn't play a lot of football. You need to guide him, and Saliba really did well. He showed his leadership qualities. He mopped up a lot of the danger. He was very intelligent in his defensive duels, and overall William Saliba just had a very, very good game. Yeah. Talking about having a good game, in this game today, Dad, who was your standout player and why?
Today, in this game today, I will have two people as my standard player. Gabriel Martinelli, he played really well today.
Yeah.
I saw him now beating his fullback like every minute.
Yeah.
And he's confident, he's up there.
Yeah.
And another person is Thomas Partey.
Okay.
Partey had a very good game today. The way he was controlling that midfield, winning his tackles, winning his area drill and everything. So these two players, to me, is my standard player.
Yeah, today. I agree. Because Thomas Partey, he just does what he does in it. Like, he's so consistent. He's so composed on the ball. I love how Thomas Partey doesn't force it. Whenever he needs to go forward, he goes forward, and he's so mature now. I'm sure he's around 31, 32, and you can really see that experience. And it's not the fact that he's getting old; it's the fact that he's so wise, he's so intelligent, he's such a smart player. Whenever he gets the ball, and we saw his brilliance off the ball because there were a few chances where Anthony Robertson, who's very athletic and very fast, had the ball on the left side, and maybe because Urian Timber was up, that left side was exposed, and Thomas Partey did so well to cover the ground and recover for his team and do the job of a defensive midfielder. But Gabriel Martinelli too, guys, today Martinelli was my stand-up player because he was outstanding from the moment the ref blew the whistle and the game started to the end. I feel like he did everything but get a goal because, again, he had a goal disallowed at the end, when it was offside from a brilliant pass from Erdegaard. But I feel like he did everything today but score. He was so positive, going forward, confident, beating his fullback. He had his fullback on toast the whole game. His end product was actually really, really good today, and I think he got the assist for Bukayo Saka's goal. So again, I feel like, like I said before, if Mikel Arteta can get the best out of Martinelli, because someone like Martinelli could be really important going into the game against Real Madrid. So then, let's make a little early prediction. Talking about the game against Real Madrid, do you think Arsenal will stand any chances against Real Madrid?
Yeah, to be honest, like I always say that football, you will never say never.
Yeah.
Like Arsenal team, they are not bad side, in a way, because Real Madrid, despite they are a big team, but they lack some discipline even in their defensive area. So if we could get our attacking players, to fire up on that, I think Arsenal could get something out of it. And defensively, Arsenal is solid as well.
Yeah.
Midfield area, we are not lacking. So I think it's a good game to watch.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good game.
Very good game, yeah. I feel like, what you said, Arsenal's defence line is really solid. Although Real Madrid do have probably one of the best attackers in the world, if we're talking of Vinicius, Mbappe, Rodrigo, Bellingham. But I feel like our back line are solid, and let's hope and pray that Gabriel is fit to play that game because he'll be a really important player if we are to try and progress to the semi-finals. Our attackers, we need to get them at the best of their game. That's why I'm thinking we shouldn't rush Saka back into the action, because what's the point if Saka's not fully fit and forcing him when we can keep bringing him off the bench, making him sure we can mold him into the best Saka against Real Madrid. But I feel something that we can really expose Real Madrid is the fact that Mbappe doesn't really track back, Vinicius doesn't really track back, Bellingham will occasionally, yes, he will get back, but I feel like Real Madrid are really, really vulnerable on the counter-attack because they really push so much energy into going forward, is that they don't put much attention going and defensively. So I feel like their defense line is a bit shaky, Obviously, they have some good players like Rudiger, but I feel like Arsenal have what it takes, to expose that whole defense line. But all I'm saying is that's just going to be a brilliant, brilliant game. You can't really call it because Arsenal are good at some areas, but Real Madrid are really, really good at some areas. And Real Madrid, whenever they're in the Champions League, it's a different story. Now we're talking about, the brilliant performance in this game today. Do you think Mikel Arteta deserves any credit for the game today?
Yeah, as I always say that whenever the setup of every game is down to the manager. So today I will give Arteta credit because the way he set up, even the Mikel Merino and every attacking player today, I think they did their bit. So I will give credit to the manager. He did well. The way he set up and the changes he made.
Yeah, I agree. Like you said about the changes. He did really well to manage the players like Timber. You saw a moment where Timber came off. I think obviously it was probably to rest him, and that's showing now that Mikel Arteta, he's now becoming more mature in his manager role. As we saw, he brought on Saka, in my opinion, at the right time. That was a good amount of time, to give Saka a run out, give him some minutes under his belt. And even Wanyari, he wasn't playing bad, but I feel like, again, could be to rest him. But overall, from the way we started the game, we were aggressive in the attacks. There were some moments where we tried to manage the game and slow it down, and slow down the intensity, maybe when Fulham are getting themselves back into the game. But overall, I feel like Arteta really set up this game well. Our game plan was clear, and it really worked today. Dad, you've been amazing as always. Guys, I just want to say thank you to all of you guys who have already subscribed, and I put down in the comment section below if you guys are enjoying the training videos I've been doing with my dad. So guys, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. It's Didi Tekz out.